I feel pressure every day. My father was a old school Korean man, so I got beat up a lot growing up. Either you come out strong out of it or you become weak out of it. When I opened that restaurant was the memory of South America when my parents used to have the laundromat. Every morning, every lunch, every dinner is like a restaurant for 50 people. And I used to be the little kid who used to help them out, and I fell in love with it.
Hello, growth seekers. Welcome back to the Seeds of Success podcast. I'm your host, William Rossi, and it is my job to bring you inspiring interviews with people from all over the world who are living their most fulfilling life. Our mission with each episode is to give you the tools to help you figure out who you are and what you want so that you can be equipped to go out into the world with the right mindset to turn your dream life into a reality. Our guest today is Antonio Park. Antonio is a world-renowned chef and seasoned entrepreneur. He's currently based, like me, out of Montreal, Canada, but he is of Korean descent and has spent the majority of his younger life in South America. This blend of cultures, paired with his love of travel, have created a recipe for success as a chef.
It wasn't an easy decision for me. My father didn't accept.
In this episode, we bring you through Antonio's decision to pursue a career that he loves, the lessons he's learned in the kitchen, and his framework for achieving unbelievable levels of success while staying true to yourself. This conversation has easily been one of my favorites so far, and it is recorded in both audio and video format. And Antonio is definitely a character in this episode, so I would highly recommend, if you do have the chance to watch it as a video, that you go and do so immediately. Either way, I hope you enjoy the following conversation with the one, the only Antonio Park. Welcome back to Seeds of Success. Today I have the amazing and unbelievable Antonio Park. Thank you for being here, Antonio.
Thank you for having me. That's so nice of you.
So we're both here in Montreal, and I got to know you a little bit through going to Park. Actually, that was the original way that I've heard of you, heard of the cuisine. Over time, I've become more fascinated in Japanese, Korean cuisines. I've traveled to both of those places pretty extensively. I've also seen you interact with PK Subban in the past. Like, I'm a big Habs fan, so seen a lot of those interactions, and then I've seen you on a lot of shows as well. So I've heard a lot about you. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
I know that you're not from here originally, though. So for viewers and listeners who don't know that story, tell us a little bit about those early days and how you got here.
Well, my parents immigrated to probably South America in the years of late 60s. Mm-hmm. And later on, obviously, I wasn't born in the 60s, but... my parents, I was, and then later on I was born in Argentina. I was born in Argentina, grew up in Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. So both Korean parents. People ask me, whose part of your family, your mother or your father is Argentinian? I says, nobody. Nobody in my blood is Argentinian. My both parents are South Korean. I'm a proud South Korean, I'm a proud Argentinian, I'm a proud Paraguayan, and I'm a proud Brazilian in that aspect of it. And today I'm a very proud Canadian. Yeah. So it says born there, grew up there about 15 years. When I was 15, came to Vancouver first, and then lived a little bit of life in Vancouver. And when I immigrated to Vancouver, that was the late 90s and late 80s and early 90s. So it wasn't really the city that it is today.
Right.
So my parents wanted to have a better opportunity for both of us. Both of us, meaning me and my sister. We're two siblings, me and my sister. And my sister right now, she lives in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and she loves it out there. But they wanted to have a better life for me and my sister, so we came to Canada. It was a very bad political issues in South America back then, and we had to kind of find a better home for us. And my parents always, like me, I'm a father also today, and they were looking for something better for me and my sister. And I'll thank them for the rest of my life for giving me an opportunity to be here in Montreal. It's my home now. To me, it's the most beautiful city in the world, hands down. And I got to learn English and French.
Yeah. What was life like in South America, growing up there?
It was beautiful, man. Man, life in South America is beautiful. You wake up, you go to school at 6 a.m., you finish at 12. There's something that is called siesta. We normally sleep from 1 till 2:30-ish. That's the time when everybody...
That applies to school also?
Yeah, everything is shut down. Even the shops.
Okay.
Even clothing shops are shut down to go sleep.
Yeah.
called la siesta. But during that time, I finished school at 12 o'clock, and from 12 o'clock all the way till 6 p.m. I was playing football, soccer.
Yeah.
So I was a big soccer fan, right? So I used to. It was my childhood. It was basically assisting my mom to cook.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my happiest moments. Going to school early in the morning, finishing early. And I was just a sports athlete, man. I was going swimming, baseball, football, a lot of tennis too. So for major sports, I used to just play nothing in a competitive level, but I just loved it, you know. And when I love something, I want to do it.
Are there a lot of South Koreans in Argentina, especially at that time?
There used to be a lot, yeah. There was no Chinese. There was Japanese, Korean, and Taiwanese. These were the main three populations of Asians in South America.
And when you came to Canada, what was that like? That process of, you know, immigrating, coming into a new country, you're 15.
I was excited. The last days of South America, the last days that I was there in Paraguay and Argentina, it was very difficult times for those countries. So there was a lot of violence, a lot of chaos, and you know, coming here is just, you know, more peaceful, and hopefully to learn to be more educated in certain ways. And you know, you're coming in from a third world country to just a country, right? To Canada. So that's something that I'm very grateful for my parents, that they work hard, you know, to be able to pave the road and give us that opportunity to be here, you know. For
sure. And I think Vancouver's a great entry point too. There's a lot of Korean culture there, a lot of Japanese
It wasn't
culture.
a lot when I, it wasn't that much. I think South America was way more than any place versus Canada. It's not even comparable.
Okay.
Yeah, over there, is the population of Asians, or Korean, Japanese, and Taiwanese. It was enormous. Yeah.
Okay, so you still felt at home, like you didn't feel different from everybody else around you in school?
No, in school, no, it's different though. Because I used to, when I was in South America, my family was very, very poor.
Okay.
It was, you know, we didn't have much. And I have stories about this that I tell people, and I tell them stories, and I do other podcasts and I talk about it. But you know, a very simple story is that I had no toys growing up, and people are like, "You had no toys?" It's like, "Yeah, I had no toys." And when I tell you I have no toys, I had zero toys, zero. The only thing that I had was, if I wanted to have a soccer ball, I will take plastic bags and wrap it around, you know, put a tape on it, rubber on it, wrap it around, more plastic bag, and make it into a ball. And I used to play that indoors.
Wow.
That was my life. And by all means, I'm not ashamed to talk about it. And I'm just, you know, thankful that I'm here today. And, you know, you evolve in life, right? And those are the things that you evolve, and you want in the future. I had one shoes that opened up, and I used to play soccer, and you know, when your feet gets bigger than your shoes, it opens up the front. Yeah. And you tape it. Nobody does that. I did it. I used to tape it. Yeah. And that's why I have a huge collection of shoes today, because I said to myself, if one day I become successful, I want to buy every single shoes that I want.
Amazing.
Very simple. Yeah. My life was very simple. I go for it. Is
still applies now?
Every day, every minute.
Yeah.
Applies, yeah.
So becoming a chef I have immigrant parents as well, Middle Eastern parents. So, you know, there's a difference between pursuing something creative that's not conventional and then what your parents want. What was that process like?
Horrible. Horrible. My mom was you know, she was an entrepreneur, but at the same time, she used to cook for a lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people know, I opened a restaurant called Lavanderia that went on fire, but when I opened that restaurant was the memory of South America, when my parents used to have the laundromat, this floating acid stone wash laundromat. And I did Lavanderia out of that memory of every breakfast, every lunch, every dinner. You know, we have people working, at least 50 people working together in that laundromat that we used to do at Lavanderia. But all those 50 people also used to live in my house. So every morning, every lunch, every dinner is like a restaurant for 50 people. You have to cook for all these people. So my mom used to do that with their wife. And I used to be the little kid who used to help them out, peel the garlic, peel the onions and things like that. And I fell in love with it. And from that on, I think from the age of 7, did I always wanted to be a chef, a cook? How would you know at the age of 7 if you wanted to be a chef or a cook? You don't know what you want to become, right? You're still puzzling of things that you want to become.
For sure.
But I know my mindset was always, I loved cooking.
Yeah.
I love eating.
Yeah.
I loved eating. I can eat a whole cow. I loved eating. So I think that was the element that put me where I am today, because I love so much to cook and to eat.
Yeah. But did you feel pressures to not becoming a chef?
I feel pressure every day. My father was a old school Korean man, went to the army. So I got beat up a lot by growing up. There's a whole story on the Gazette that I was talking about. Growing up was difficult time with my father, but it's always been a difficult time for my father. But my mom was really the person who was behind it and supporting and says, it's okay, it's okay.
So with your mom's approval and support, it was easier for you to pursue?
No, it was never easy.
Okay.
Because I used to get beat up and she used to heal me. I used to get beat up by my father. And getting beat up today sounds so bad.
Yeah.
But back in the days, it was a common thing, by the way.
Right.
You get whipped. Today, you cannot whip anymore.
No, you're going to jail.
But back in the days, you get whipped.
Yeah.
And you get whipped. So it's not like something that is different. And I know some people that might have think of it, to me, it was a very clear thing when my father used to beat me up or beat me up, hit me. Yes, beat me up. Yes. It's either you make it or you break it, right? Either you come out strong out of it or you become weak out of it. It was a very clear definition back in the days, they come from wars, right? Don't forget where they're coming from. It's not like they don't come from a la land and they beat you. No. They come from a very, very dark world where they went through war, or they lost their families during the war and things like that. So I do understand what he wanted to do. He wanted for me to have a better education, better life. The same thing that I'm doing for my children.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an easy decision for me. For me, the easy decision is I don't want to work. I want to live my life. I don't want to work one day in my life. I wanted to be free. And that's the new generation that comes with it. They want to be free. And my father didn't accept, to a point that I didn't speak to him for 11 years, and then he passed away out of heart attack. I didn't speak to him nor seen him for 11 years, and he passed out of heart attack. How that makes me feel as a horrible son.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible son when I think about that, but things happen in life you regret, and what you learn from it is to not do the same mistakes towards your children.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing right now to my children. I'm like, I'm paving the roads for them to whatever they want to do.
Right.
Whatever they feel comfortable, under one condition. Just graduate school.
Yeah.
You know why I tell them to graduate school? Because they do have a little paper that is in their back pocket.
Yeah.
And they'll have an opportunity to do something else if they don't like, or something happens in their life. They'll always have a second option.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. And that's how I think as well. So I was never of like, am I pro school or pro non-school? I never had that thought. I just went to school, got my degree, and then decided to do what I want.
Yeah.
But I always think in the back of my head, not that I will do this, but in the back of my mind, I know I have a finance degree from McGill.
Yes. And you can also use it. Always use it.
Yeah. In the worst case, I have that little piece of paper.
Absolutely.
That allows me to get some job or whatever you required. Yeah. So when you decided to become a chef, how old were you at that time? When you really started dabbling into that?
15.
15.
I was a dishwasher.
What do you do, or what did you do in your early stages of your career to become a better chef? Did you travel? Did you learn from someone, work somewhere.
Went to different countries, did stages, worked in different kitchens, worked in different restaurants, learned from different mentors, learned from different, chefs. A lot of people look at me and says, well, I only have 2 mentors or 1 mentor. Somebody who taught me how to do things, do it right. It's not because you don't like that person or you dislike that person, or if you love the person, or if you believe that person is a mentor, that only him can be a mentor.
Right.
A mentor is somebody who actually pushes you to think different things in your life, who gives you a different path of road.
Yeah.
The good mentor will always tell you the right things. The best mentor will always tell you the wrong things, because the wrong things will make you the best person at the end of the day. Why? Because the good things, you don't get to see the bad things left and right. But on the wrong things, you get to see all the bad things left and right. And that's where you learn the most. You cannot be working in a restaurant that is perfect and you're going to tell me you learned a lot. Because the moment that I take you to a broken place, you'll be broken. But if I take you from a broken place and I take you to a perfect place, you'll perfect it because you've already seen the broken side.
Right. So in that regard, he puts you in bad situations or tells you to do things that he doesn't tell you you're going to fail at, and then eventually you fail. Is that it?
That's not the way that it is. Is a mentor is somebody who tells you real things.
Okay.
Bad things, good things. Not always the somebody who tells you good things and holds your hands and today he is your second father or second brother and your best friend To me, a mentor is everybody in your life who crosses. Everybody who crosses in your life, who gave you a different experience that you've never seen, that's a different mentorship.
Right.
Yeah. Because you learn from that too. And sometimes from negativity, your energy grows even faster.
Right.
Because you want to, what's the best way to get to face to somebody that, let's say, you don't feel comfortable, you don't like, because that's a competition right there. Competition is always healthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes revenge is the most powerful weapon, because it gives you the will to do something that you never thought you could have done. But you have to take that and curate it in a positive way, something that is good for you. And that's the hard thing to do.
But a bad thing must happen to you first before needing to seek revenge, right? You can't seek revenge
if you don't make mistakes, how could you learn?
So you're not seeking revenge on somebody, it's more on a past experience.
It's
with
to
yourself.
Learn. The revenge is to learn.
It's within.
Is within, to learn yourself to be stronger.
Yeah.
But hate is horrible.
Right.
Hate is.
Yeah.
And I've said sometimes in this, and I don't know if I've ever said this about this. I'm going to take your notes and I'm going to cut this paper.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people have beef and hate and all this thing going on. I know a lot of people have this different things in life that they want to do. But I want to show you something that is very, very simple. It's a very simple exercise, and this exercise should be used in many different people.
Okay.
And this is one of the problems that I haven't spoken to my father for 11 years, because he was the person that is, I'm the person that is, we headbutted. Oh my God, it just kept on going and going, and the problem just seemed like it was a problem. But what is that real problem? Because there's no problem. Nothing happened. It's two humans that don't disagree each other. All they have to do is let it go.
Right.
You know how easy it is to let go, and from somebody that you dislike to like that person?
Yeah.
You know how easy that is? Forgiveness is as simple as that, because it's in your head. But everybody.
It's a passing thought.
It's like, it's so tough. It's so tough. Like, what is it tough?
Right.
You're not building a building.
Yeah.
You're not butchering a cow.
Right.
You're not going to fish a 500, pound tuna.
Right.
It's just a paper you pop it, put it on your face, and you just. That's forgiveness.
So is it hard for you to get mad now?
I get mad, but I who doesn't get mad? If you tell me I don't get mad, that's a lie.
Is it hard for you
You get mad?
Stay mad.
No, I don't stay mad.
Yeah.
No, I don't stay mad.
So you practice this a lot.
I practice this a lot.
What is an example? You were talking about your mentor earlier, where they bring you or help you go towards a place where you will be broken, and then you come back and you perfect it. Do you have an example of something like that?
Broken. I don't know. I've since my growth of being a cook in the kitchen. I'm talking about being a cook, right?
Yeah.
Being a cook in the kitchen, I've went through a lot of hard times.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things that I went through is, having mentorship mentors that they didn't share recipes. They didn't teach me how to cut things. They didn't give me, but those are the people that actually taught me the most.
Right.
Do you know why? Because you want to learn. So some people, somebody who's a good mentor, who you say is a good mentor, tells you things. Do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you get to learn. E, C, D, E, F, G, like all the children.
Yeah.
But the teacher who tells you A, F.
And figure out the in-between.
Figure out in between. What are you going to do? You're going to go learn it.
Yeah, you're gonna
Somehow you want to go figure it out. Somehow you want to know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not just given to you.
Right.
That's important.
Right.
It doesn't have to be just given to you. Because if it's just given to you, you listen and you let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have an example of that?
Well, everything in life, right? I told you already with my teachers, my chefs, they weren't showing me recipes. They weren't showing me how to cut. I had to come 30 minutes, an hour earlier. I had to leave 2 hours earlier.
They told you
after
make this,
they leave,
and that's it.
Listen, after they leave, how would you know how they work?
Yeah.
How would you know this very, very simple fact. How would you know, let's say you're working in an organized office and you want to learn how to organize yourself, but you know this person that is not teaching anything because he's very conservative, he is very, introvert.
Sure.
And he wants to make sure that his closet is organized in a certain way.
Sure.
So you go in as a stagiaire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He will never change because he's not a person who shares things.
Right.
You go 30 minutes earlier, you clean his desk. You come out an hour after he leaves, you check how he worked. Do you learn? But somehow he didn't teach you. You got the intention to get in there and learn yourself.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's huge.
A lot of people think that in order to do something, they need to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
And they have to be given.
Yeah.
In today's world, they have to be.
So the trick is know what the end result is, know the first step, and then figure it out.
Go look for it, man.
Yeah.
You want a glass of water? Go get your glass of water.
Right.
Yeah. Don't wait until they offer you the glass of water.
Yeah.
It's your body. It's your mindset.
Yeah. When do you think your career started to take off? Was there a specific point, something that you did, something that happened when it started?
It started to take off when I was 15, man, when I was a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Since then,
that's within you, right?
That's as a chef, as a cook, that's a different story. As a businessman, that's a different story. As a businessman is because you're risking now two things. You're not risking only your career, but you're also risking your money.
Yeah.
It's very easy to say, oh, I'm going to open a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But if you open a restaurant and you don't put any money in it, then it's not your restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your restaurant.
Right.
Because if you invest zero and you make zero, you've lost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you invest 100 and you lost zero, you lost $100.
Yeah.
You get my point, right?
Yeah. So your first restaurant is Park.
My first restaurant is Park.
So that's the fusion of your background, right?
That's all me. That's
Korean,
Park
Japanese,
is the
South American.
last name of my father. I took the last name of my father. Obviously, my father, this is my last name, but at the same time is my father, for the memory of, me losing him and all that, it meant so much to me. For me, not speaking to him, it meant so much to me. I lost after Park was open. So without even thinking that he was going to pass away of a heart attack. But
Right.
I just wanted to open in Park. I don't know why. It just happened. I wasn't something specific, and I put my elements of my, the Argentinian culture, this Japanese culture, but his base element of Park is Japanese.
Yeah.
And the Korean flavors comes in it. It's not a Korean Japanese restaurant. That's not it. It's a Japanese restaurant where there's influences of South America, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, and then you have South Korea.
Yeah.
Those and some Canadian things too. Now I've been here for 35 years.
So can we say that's your first big business risk?
That's my first restaurant.
What was that like, that decision? How do you decide to go all in that regard? Because I assume before things are going well, right?
I had no fear. I had no fear. Do you want me to tell you why I had no fear?
Yeah.
My firstborn and the secondborn, my first Alexander Park, and my second daughter, Naomi Park, was born. There's things that you do in life for yourself.
Yeah.
But once you become a father, it's a whole different element. You're not only doing for yourself, you're doing it for your better half and your children. And you must. That's what my father, I think those are the principles that my mother and my father put in my head. It's like, you are living for a purpose now.
Yeah.
Not only your purpose, but the purpose of the family.
So your kids are around at that time when you open that restaurant?
Yeah. They were just.
But that's still a big risk, regardless, right? Because you're changing
It's a bigger
up
risk.
or you're changing
It's
down,
a bigger
right?
risk.
And now there's other people who are affected by whichever result happens.
Of course, it's a bigger risk than you have. But
wouldn't you be more fearful in that case?
In my head, it's a funny question that you answer, because I've thought about that question back in the days, and I do have an answer for that. The answer for that was, it doesn't matter what happens to that business at the end of the day. Break it or make it. I was gonna be alive anyways, right? Life goes on. Break it or make it. But the funny thing is, I'm a cook, I'm a chef.
Right.
We speak the kitchen language. I don't have to speak any other language. You can drop me in any kitchen in the world and I will survive. So it doesn't matter if I break it or make it. I had a second option, a second plan in the future. If I break it, if I don't make it, in a kitchen.
So it's that belief in yourself.
Yeah, of course. You gotta push yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe yourself?
Yeah.
Answer me this question.
Nobody. I mean, you have to.
If you don't take care of yourself,
nobody.
Who's gonna take care of yourself?
Nobody.
Nobody will. You're the best person who can take care of yourself. Who can plan yourself. Who can set a goal for yourself. And who can really take care of yourself. That's you. You have that power to do it for you.
Right.
Nobody else can that for you.
Yeah.
And don't expect somebody else to do it for you. They won't do it as half as good as you do it for yourself.
No, they care too much about their own life to care about yours. So I talked about, like earlier, I said, I went to McGill, finance degree. That's somewhat of a privileged accomplishment to say, like, that's my backup option. For you, it wasn't a degree. Even though you're saying to your kids, have the degree, so that's a good backup. For you, it's your skills, your skill set. What if someone wants to take a big risk like that, wants to go all in on something that can make or break?
Yeah.
How do we know if we have a good backup option?
Well, experience. Number one comes experience. Number two, it comes into what degree you want it. To what extent you want it. It's very easy to say, yeah, I'm going to be that person. How much do you want it?
Yeah.
Because it's funny, depending on how much you want, it could also break you or make you. For example, if you really want it, you're not counting the hours. But if you just want it to be somebody, you are counting the hours. But if you really wanted to do something, you're not counting the hours. No. You still be, if you really want to do this and you're growing this, 3 a.m. you'll have another one, 6 a.m. you'll have another one, and you're not complaining about it.
No. Yeah.
Right? Why would you complain if you know that that's the way that you want, that's what you wanted?
Yeah.
You can't complain on something that you wanted.
Yeah.
And then that's not fair. Right?
Yeah. So is it in theory, is it really a mindset thing, or is it actually a skill thing? Because if we were to drop you in any kitchen at this point, like, and maybe at that point too, yes, you're talented enough, you could actually outperform everyone, but you also have the attitude that even if you don't know the cuisine, the meals, how to cook, you would step in and you would learn how to figure it out, like you were saying. So is it really a mindset thing? Like, is a good backup option maybe having a strong mindset, or do you need the actual skills or the degree or the paper? Because we don't have skills.
Skills can be learned.
Right.
A mindset cannot be learned. A mindset is very simple. It's not about learning. It's about focusing.
Yeah.
You got to focus on what you do.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put all your energy and all your interest and all your learning into one simple place right there.
Right.
If you don't do that, then you're everywhere. You won't be able to succeed as much as others. You won't be able to learn as much as the others. Because if you put everything that you know and you put all your energy and all your thoughts and all your positivity into this one place right now, what you're doing, then you will succeed no matter what.
Yeah.
You will. Because how could it not?
Even if you don't have the skills.
The skill comes along. The skills you learn.
Yeah.
You were a baby when you were born, right?
I hope so.
Did you know how to walk?
Don't think
That's
so.
a skill you learned.
Yeah.
Did you know how to run?
No.
That's a skill you learned.
Right.
Did you know how to cut vegetables? You didn't know.
No.
That's a skill you learned.
I might still not.
Driving. That's a skill you learn. Everything that you do in this world is a skill that you learn. There's beginners,
Yeah.
the middle, and then there are the experts. To be the expert, you just have to do it 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, $50,000, 50,000 times. That's it.
Yeah.
It's practice that makes you good.
Yeah.
But how much are you willing to practice to become that good? In what field?
And
That's your life.
And is there value in going all in, or value in breaking slowly out of your current situation, current state, and then slowly getting better? Maybe I'm talking in this case, like, if you're unhappy with your current situation, and like what you did, right, with being a chef and everything, and being a cook, it's all in, right? This is what you're doing. With opening Park, it's all in. This is make or break. There are some people, let's say you have the capacity to make that choice. Like, money's not a problem to that extent. Should we go all in, or could we ease out? Is there a specific way to do this?
So if you were not all in and you ease out a little bit, then you can't tell me you put 100%. But to succeed, you have to put 100%
Yeah.
in everything that you do, right?
Yeah.
So you're contradicting yourself by telling me,
Yeah.
I did all my best, but I left a little on the side. Isn't that wrong?
Yeah.
You go all in, just go all in. Make it or break it. If you break it, by all means, hey, start another one.
Yeah. No, I really love that attitude.
You know why? Because you have only one gift. You know what's that one?
Life.
Yeah, man, you wake up in the morning, holy shit, you have a life.
Yeah.
You have a life, you're oh my God. I'm breathing, I'm seeing, I'm watching,
Yeah.
You have the biggest gift. Everything on top of it is a fucking cherry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What more you want? The day that it really goes bad is the day that you don't wake up in the morning anymore. Now that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you have that, man. So just live it. Live it, give it. You got one chance.
Yeah.
Just go. You miss that one chance. Funnily, they don't tell you have a second chance. You have another chance. You have one more chance. You have one more chance. And that chance will never stop.
Right. Yeah.
The only way that chance will stop is if you stop.
Yeah. If you stop trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, right? Because I think a lot of people are not thinking about those skills that they have, or that mindset that they have, or basically their let's say, backup option or backup understanding of the world, if you knew that you were confident or you knew that your position in life is a good backup, you would maybe flip that from a primary to a secondary, and then it would allow you to take that risk.
You don't have to be confident, because confidence grows.
Okay.
Yeah, confidence, the more you feel comfortable, it grows within you.
Right.
Don't try to be confident from day one, because that's just translates to cockiness.
Mm-hmm.
Be who you are, practice, 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 and just, I always say, like, never give up. The word never give up is not about not giving up from jobs and give up. It's okay. That's just a job.
Yeah.
This is work.
Right.
Yeah. Just don't give up in life. What I mean by saying don't give up is just don't give up in life.
And
I want you to wake up tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning it's going to be sunny. And today is rainy. Tomorrow is going to be super sunny.
Uh-huh.
And on a sunny day, you might think differently.
Yeah. Did you ever have one of those moments where you came close to giving up? And I don't mean in giving up in the sense of your life, but your
many
everything.
times. No, in every way, multiple times. Of course, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I'm no different from anybody else.
What do you think when you're in that state of mind?
When I get into those things, the first thing that I do is I love water.
Okay.
I love water.
That's good. Yeah.
So I take a good shower.
Okay.
And this is me who I am. When I have anything messy in my head, anything that's going, I go take a shower.
Okay.
I go take a hot, cold. Whatever it has to do with water.
Yeah.
Swimming, jacuzzi, shower, whatever it has to do with water, except drinking water.
Yeah. Okay.
I do it. And then it gives me a little bit of, self-satisfaction when it comes to you feel fresh, right? Because we always say fresh start.
Yeah.
So that's why I always thought of that. So I always do that. And then it happens to me many times. And I always think of myself, this is the way that I think of myself. I look at it and I'm just sitting down and I'm like doing some other things. And I think of it and I said, fuck, in 6 months, in a year, this problem will be forgotten. So in my head, I'm like, I have to go through this. Either I make it or I fail it, or I win or fail or lose, doesn't matter. I have to go through this anyways.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, oh my God, this is going to kill me. This is horrible, da-da-da. But let's go back to the basics again. Life. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. It doesn't matter how down you are. It doesn't matter how horrible your life status is today. It doesn't matter how many bad things you've done. That has nothing to do with it, because nobody will come and kill you. So you still have the biggest gift left, which is life. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
You still have that left.
Yeah.
That's still
right.
That's always there. That has never changed. Put it back in position.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sometimes go down. You have to hit the floor. Hit the floor.
Yeah.
Hit it hard. Hit it hard. Hit it hard so it wakes you up. Hit it hard.
So Park was number one
Yeah.
in terms of those business ventures. Now how many are we at? Gonna need a second for this.
I have quite a bit. I'm not gonna name it. I don't think that's the whole purpose of me coming here and talking about all my businesses. It just means a different way, and just I have multiple, obviously. For sure, it's over 10. But I work. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I built, and I'm grateful for the team that are still there. Not everybody stayed there, obviously. As we know, it's like when you become a satellite, it starts from the rocket, right? It goes and becomes a satellite. When you're a satellite, not everybody, when you're a rocket, they're still in the satellite, right?
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of people left.
You lose a few pieces along the way.
Yeah. A lot of pieces along the way.
A lot of pieces.
And you make it very small.
Yeah.
And that is very important in every human being, in every business.
Yeah.
Because you have to go through that. Because if you don't go through that, then you don't know the real people that is around you.
Yeah.
Has been 13 years. Park is open, so I'm grateful that those people that stay with me, they're there with me and they're supporting. Not always easy, obviously, and then time goes by. But even if it's not easy, it's somehow it became a family that is just easy to talk. Right? We don't hide anything to each other. We just say it.
Yeah. So with all of these different ventures, and I'm sure they come up pretty often, or someone pitches you an idea, or you get another idea. What's your decision-making process from when you decide to say yes to one of those opportunities and go for it versus saying no to others?
First of all, restaurants, I do it because I want to eat. If I want to eat in that restaurant, that means I want to open that restaurant.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Very simple, right?
That's a
very
great
simple,
yeah.
It's these days.
Even if you don't know that space per se, like if you say, I love the idea of drinking a Negroni, you will consider opening a bar?
No, not that way.
Okay.
No, you got it. So what I mean by that is, so let's say I go to in certain areas around the world and I eat the restaurant's food, and I love the restaurant's food.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna open a restaurant with my name with their food. I'm gonna try to bring them and open together with them.
Interesting.
That's the entrepreneur side.
Interesting. Gotcha.
That's a business side. So there's a chef side and there's a business side.
For sure.
One person cannot be good at everything.
Yeah.
One person cannot be good at tennis, basketball, soccer, football. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Everybody has their talent in food, in cuisine, international cuisine, in so many different. Everybody has a talent. Do you know why? Because it is attached to their memory. It is attached to their culture. It is attached to their families, to their father and their mother.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to change that.
Yeah.
And I can't learn this.
Yeah.
It's too long. I'll be dead by the time I finish learning this.
Right.
But we can do together with these people.
How do you find these ideas now? So I'm talking specifically in terms of creativity. When you want to open maybe if you have the idea of opening somewhere, a new place, new restaurant, new bar, new establishment, if you want a new item for the menu, do you travel?
Work with the chefs. No. Work with the chefs. I normally, these days, what happens is that, the younger chefs normally will rise up and will become chefs on their own from Park or on other restaurants also. But when I hire a new chef, an executive chef to run one establishment, then I work with this person together to share the common areas and to think about it. It's not that easy. It's not as simple as that because, in the restaurant business, there's a lot of obstacles.
Right.
Labor cost, food cost, rent cost, gas cost, electricity cost, cleaning cost, linen cost. It's not just a restaurant anymore, unless you open one and you call it a mom and pop shop, which is just for you and you curate that. That's also good. That's beautiful. But when you're in my world, it's a corporate business now, which a corporate business that is not represented as corporate, that is represented more as a hands-on business.
Yeah.
But when you get to that level, you have to be able to understand all this logistics because it is a business at the end of the day.
Have you had to change things in certain of your restaurants to please a certain type of person?
We always do that.
How does that work?
That's a common thing.
But do you like those changes all the time?
We have to. We're living in 2023.
Yeah.
Soon 2024.
Like you couldn't take, let's say you went to Japan and you went to a restaurant in a small town in Japan, you talk to the chef, you say, hey, look, we want to do this in Montreal together. We think the cuisine's great. In theory, you're not able to open that exact same restaurant with that same cuisine because the way people react to certain meals and certain food items.
No. In 2023 and 24, you can.
You can.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because people travel a lot now.
Gotcha.
And they learn a lot now. We're really becoming a one world destination. We're becoming a one world. We're becoming more and more a unified world. How about that?
Yeah.
We do things that, mom and pops do Indian food at home and they do it in the restaurant. It works as much as they do. Doesn't matter what it is. Middle Eastern, Asian, sushi, Japanese, Chinese.
Yeah.
It works. It works because we developed our palate is same thing as exercising, right?
Yeah.
You exercise. So once you start doing push-ups, right? And then after that, push-ups, you do bench presses. Same thing. You're learning. From there on, you know how to bench press. Same thing for food. Practice. You're eating it. You get to learn, listen, learn, travel, get to see more.
Yeah. So there are some restaurants which I don't enjoy this concept, but when they have multiple different cuisines inside one restaurant, I'm not talking about a fusion restaurant. I'm saying, here's our Mexican menu, here's our American menu, like here's our Indian menu, and we're one. They try to please as many people as possible.
That restaurant should be in a hotel.
Gotcha. Yeah. What's your attitude on that? So it's picking one theme.
Depends
one
on
cuisine.
who cooks it, depend who does it, depend how they curated it, depends on how much love they put it into it, depends how much put it into it, depends who's behind it, depends who's serving it, who's explaining it, depends who's the guy who called to make the order of the beef, the spices, the vegetables, and all that. Depends on everybody.
Right. So when you're going through the process of finding chefs, finding people to work with, let's say chefs in specific, what do you think differentiates?
There's no secret. Make it or break it. You trust in one person, you can make it or break it.
There are no qualities. I'm saying what differentiates a good chef from a great chef?
A good chef from a great chef.
Because that ties directly into what you're saying.
I don't know if there's a good chef is a great chef.
Is this a system thing more?
To me, it's very simple. It's either you're good or bad. There's no good. There's no very bad, middle, good, great. What are we trying to do? It's either good or bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your attitude towards failure? How do you approach this?
It's the next step to success. If you don't fail, you will never succeed.
Do you almost want to fail in certain cases?
If you didn't fail and you succeeded, good for you. That's you got a lucky star from God, you know.
Yeah.
But if that didn't happen, don't give up.
Yeah.
The next chapter is coming.
If someone is walking through life, has the ability to make choices for themselves, meaning they're not struggling to pay rent, pay bills, eat food, shelter, they're good. If they are unhappy with their life and they're looking for motivation or first step, actionable step, not the 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but the A, on overcoming their own limiting beliefs and starting down a better path, what do you recommend we can
Meet
do?
some friends that have open-minded. Meet some friends that are positive, that are doing well. Or another thing that I always say is, what puts smiles on your face? What is the thing that puts smiles on your face? Is it eating? Is it sleeping? Is it pooing? Is it peeing? Is it smoking a joint? What does it make you happy at that moment? The happiest. What is it exactly? I want you to put in numbers. Take a notepad, take a pen, and list it from 1 to 10. What makes you happy?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, because there's jobs to be found and there's business to be found in anything in this world. So take the 3 things and focus on what you like. If you tried these 3 things, 1, 2, 3, and you don't like it, that means you never liked that. That means you're lying to yourself. So write it down, exactly. And focus and go for it.
Yeah. So you're about to give a speech later today at McGill.
Yeah.
Twice every year.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're about to speak to a bunch of students and basically offer them some sort of advice, guidance on...
Well, CEO Insight class, Carl Morrell is a friend of mine, and he's a professor at McGill, and I like to just share my knowledge at the same time, share my experiences. For me, it's very important to share them, because I don't want a lot of people to make the mistakes that I made. That's not the only thing. The other thing also is I want them to really realize the real world out there. The real world out there is really black and white, but you just have to color them down.
Can you explain that?
Well, a kid, right? A kid, for kids, they have coloring books where it's white and then you have black. And then every go in there and put their color and that makes them happy.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is the world, think of it as black and white, and you're coloring that image to your colors to put smiles on your face.
Interesting. What is the advice that you would give to one of those people that you're going to speak to?
What are the advice?
Yeah, I'm assuming the CEO insight, right? So you're going to
Yeah.
tell everyone about mistakes you made, stories you go
Yep,
through so
yep.
that they don't make the same mistakes. What sort of guidance do you think you would say to one of those people?
I can't give them guidance because they all come from different fields. But what I can tell them is, don't think of just doing things, earning things like that.
Yeah.
Build it. Build it. You must build. You must make your foundation solid. That's the first thing. Before you do that, don't even jump on the next step, because these days everybody jumps too fast.
Right.
Yeah, too fast. And when you jump too fast, you can't build as high as a building that you can because your foundation is not strong. So I always tell them, put your head down and just build your foundation. That's priority number one.
And I think the biggest issue when it comes to younger people, I would say, is the concept of gratification. So with social media, it's much easier now to, let's say, post something, it doesn't get views. Okay, it's not good. I have my instant gratification. Or I post something, it gets views. It's good. I'll post it
But
again.
that's everybody. That's everybody. Everybody feels the same way. And some people will tell you, no, I don't care. Everybody cares.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about, but
how do you go about life? Because in order to achieve what you said, to build the high building, you need the right foundation. And that takes time. It's not quick. And for the majority of the time when you're building the foundation, it's not sexy. So you have to be willing to go through a period of time
But
where
you're
you're not
talking
getting
something that goes against you said something that goes against my principles of life.
Okay.
You know what's the principle of life? My principles of life is that, are you living your life or are you living somebody else's life? So what you just told me about Instagram posts, how do you call that?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Okay. It's great. People recognize you and they put a thumb and they put a heart and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's two lives. And I always say, live your life. Live your life, because the other life is not you. It's what others are trying to make you be who you are not.
Yeah. So we have 5 questions that we ask everybody.
Yes.
The last 5 questions that we ask.
Yes.
If you've watched any of the videos, you'll recognize them, but if not, we'll go for it. So the first one, how old are you?
I'm 48.
What does it feel like to be 48?
Feels 2 years closer to 50.
Nailed it. Do you
feels great. Feels great. I wish I was younger. But I think I'm happy that I have my next generation who's going to continue this something that I built, and hopefully they'll achieve their dreams and try to do their best. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in life, right? So I'm very grateful. Yeah.
What's the attitude you have to turning 50? Is it scary? Is it weird?
Not at all. Not at all. I've never had. No, it's just another year. I'm not a guy who celebrates birthdays, first of all.
Okay.
I'm not the type of guy. So I'm...
Is it different than turning 40 and 30? Like, I've asked people these questions who are turning 30. It's a big deal. When you're in your 20s, you feel like 30 is the end of life. For a lot of people, turning 40 is just another year. And turning 50 for some people is like you're in the second half.
Of course. You do have that mindset, it's a big goal, right? But I'm actually very, very grateful for where I am today and what I've done until today. And hopefully I have more days to be able to share all this. And then you brought in somebody who's very happy in his life, who's just blessed with his children. I have 4 children. I have a beautiful woman in my life, and she's great, and I'm very grateful for everything that's going on, and that's my core value number 1. If you look at the questions that you asked me, you'll see it. That's my principles in life, and that's what my dedication is in life. So I'm just happy. I don't share it through the social media.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah. No one's
I
asking.
don't have to. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I live my life. Others people don't live my life.
Right.
I only post things that are very professional and something that has to do with profession. My as a chef status or as a cook status, I'll post it. But my personal life, sometimes I show them a little bit just to have fun. But
Yeah.
my personal life is personal life. Yeah.
100%. What is something that when you were younger, you put a lot of importance on, but as you've gone older, has gone less important?
Sports cards.
Okay. That's a very fast answer.
And like almost going high school, elementary and high school, man, I used to love memorabilia. I used to love sports cards. I used to love hats. I used to love everything that has to do with sports. That kind of, I still love it. I still love to play tennis, play basketball and football and all that. It became a part of my life because I have children now. I play with them, but the memorabilia, the sports card side has been, I'm pretty sure that book has a dust on top of it and I don't touch it.
What about the flip side? As you've gone older, what has become more important?
Family. Yeah, family has become more than important. Actually, family meaning my own family, right? Before I didn't have children, now I have children. So that's my priority number one in life.
Is it hard to flip-flop with that? And
Very hard, almost impossible.
Yeah. Was there a point when it switched? Like I'm sure when you were younger, the work was a priority, right? Was there a point when it flipped to the point where your family became your number one priority?
Yes. After Park opened, after I did well, I started stabilizing certain things in life.
Yeah.
Then it became much more family oriented because your worries change, right? Because when you first open business, you're moving about, would I be able to pay off my interest? Would I be able to pay off my loan from the bank that I opened the restaurant? What if the restaurant doesn't work? I'm fucked. I'm like, there's so many questions that keeps on going, right?
For sure.
And then after that, it's responsibility. Now my worries is 2 daughters and how are they doing? Are they doing well? Are they sick? How are they doing in school? How they, do I spend enough time with them? What should I do to get more close to them? These are more important things in my life. What are they eating at home? I'm a father who cooks a lot at home. I know a lot of chefs don't cook at home.
Yeah.
I cook mostly every day.
Nice.
Yeah, every day I cook for my whole family every day. That's my and also because they love eating my food. That's something that
a lot of people do.
isn't good, right? Like they love eating my food, and I see their smiles, so it just gives me the pump to start and keep on going every day and pushing more harder. And the funny thing about chefs and cooks is that they might not know your name, but they know something deeper than that. They know what you like to eat, what your allergies are, what you don't like eating. Isn't that funny? But they don't even know that person's name. But we know about everything about that person in food. It's like I look at it and I'm like, fuck, that's true. Like, what's your name? But you don't like carrots.
What's my girlfriend's name?
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
What is a big mistake that you've made or a big regret that you have that you learned a valuable lesson from it?
My father. When my father passed away, I haven't spoken to him for 11 years. And he passed away of a heart attack, so I couldn't even say goodbye or things like that. That's my biggest mistake. And that's what I will make sure it doesn't get repeated in my life, nor in my children's life.
What did you learn specifically from that, the takeaway?
Anger, forgiveness. That's why I showed you about the paper forgiveness. And the past is the past.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. The past is the past. You can't change the past. You can change today and the future.
Yeah.
But you can't change. I can't put it back. But I can clean it. I can't change the past, but I can clean it.
Our last question. You've been very grateful to have filled out one of these journal entries. Hey there, I hope that you're enjoying the conversation so far. At Sprouht, we're really big on not just listening to advice, but also taking action on it. At the beginning of my own self-growth journey, I was lost, and I was trying to find the answers to questions about who I was and what I wanted from life. Was I good enough to be the person that I wanted to be? Did I have what it takes to be able to craft that life? And how would I even get started in doing that? I turned to journaling as an answer, and after 7 years of having done it consistently, it gave me the tools to finally find fulfillment in many aspects of my life. Now, I took all of those 7 years of experience, knowledge, to go from who I used to be to where I am at now, and I created a 365-day workbook out of it. This 365-day workbook is a fully guided journal intended to bring you on your own year-long journey to outlining, creating, and living your version of your most fulfilling life. We've actually only created a limited batch of these, and if you are serious about making positive big changes to your life, which if you're listening to this podcast, you must be, I highly recommend trying it out. You can get your copy at sprouht.com or by clicking the link in the description of this episode. A better life is just one click away. If you don't mind sharing one piece of life advice that you've given to yourself for today, and then elaborating on that. I just peeked at it. It seems very interesting.
Like one piece of use baby vegetables. Why use baby vegetables? Because what I mean by baby vegetables is don't let them overgrow. And I'm just talking about vegetables, by the way, because if you let them overgrow, there's a lot of waste. When you use them as a small one, you can do so many other things with it. You can pickle them, cure them. You can do so many things with it. It's not because they're baby, they're not good. Small, they're not good. They're good too. They're very good.
Seems like a strange analogy. Like, I know you weren't trying to do this, but it seems like a strange analogy for use your body when you're young. When it's older, can't do as much. When you're young, you can do this, you can do that.
But you just waste, right? You that water, all that sun and everything, and then you put it in the fridge and they dies. Holy shit, you just wasted like 6 months to let this grow. I just put it in the garbage. What was that? So, and then it takes more space. So just, the very simple example, cherry tomatoes are great. Cherry tomatoes, they grow up fast. They're small, they're little, they're good, they're babies.
So use baby vegetables.
Use baby vegetables. Yeah, use baby vegetables.
Appreciate it.
Thank
buddy.
you, man. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't yet purchased your copy of our 365-day workbook, which we had mentioned earlier in this episode, I highly recommend you do so. It is by far the best tool that you can have in your corner if you're hoping to make serious positive change to your life this year. And other than that, subscribe. We are releasing inspiring interviews every single week, sometimes even twice a week. Thanks again for listening. If there's one thing I can remind you, it is that everything in life comes down to your mindset. It's a mindset.